It's always good to have good news. And the governor of Oklahoma, Kevin Stitt, signed a bill yesterday that blocks funding for Oklahoma Children's Hospital at Oklahoma University Health to provide gender transition surgeries or hormone treatments on minors. Now, according to a recent report, these surgeries are expected to be a $5 billion industry within the next decade. And much of this is expected to come from federal funding. The Oklahoma governor has been outspoken on this issue, and quite frankly, this action backs up his words. Joining me now to discuss this is Oklahoma Senate President Pro Tem Greg Treat. He represents the 47th District of the state of Oklahoma. Senator Treat, welcome to Washington Watch.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
So tell us what the governor did last night and now what he's calling on the legislature to do.
Yeah, so last week during special session, we were allocating the ARPA dollars, the American Rescue Plan, federal dollars, and one of the programs we were trying to fund was $39.4 million in children's behavioral health at the University of Oklahoma. And through the research on trying to figure that need out, mental health is desperate need here in the state, we found out that the University of Oklahoma was performing surgeries and giving hormone blockers and hormone treatment to kids under the age of 18. And we thought, we're not going to be sending money toward that. And so we passed a bill in addition to giving them money for children's behavioral health, forbidding that practice. And so the governor signed that yesterday, and he called on us, which we had already made a public announcement last week, that we're going to come in next session and prohibit that statewide. This special session was limited to just the appropriations of those ARPA dollars, and so that's how we were able to do it at the University of Oklahoma.
So, Senator, earlier in the week, the American Medical Association sent a letter to the Department of Justice calling on them to look into those who are threatening children's hospitals and others over this issue of what we describe as mutilation of minors, these surgeries and these hormonal treatments that are given to minors. This has become a very political issue. Do you expect to get pushback from the Biden administration on this?
I anticipate it. They have a radical agenda, and we were just doing what we think makes sense. We have a lot of laws on the books that don't allow minors to make certain decisions. They can't sign contracts. They can't get a tattoo, even with parental consent. They can't buy alcohol or cigarettes, and we thought it was prudent to prohibit them from doing it. Yes, I completely think the Biden administration will push back on us, but I think we're on firm foundation.
So you bring up a really good point, Senator, that we have all of these restrictions on minors. Why do we restrict them from getting a tattoo? I mean, why is there kind of consensus that that those under the age of 18 shouldn't be able to get a tattoo, or sometimes a little lower? Why do we think they shouldn't be able to get a tattoo?
Because it's life-altering. It's a decision they may come to regret later on in life, and we think this gender reassignment surgery and or puberty blockers or hormone treatment is very likely to be regretted later in life. All adults have been through puberty and know how awkward that is, and even small, insignificant decisions we look back on and think, what was I thinking when I was a teenager? And I've got a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, and an 11-year-old, and they're very mature for their age, but I would not think that they're mature enough to make those type of decisions.
Well, we don't let them drive either. I grew up in Oklahoma. I grew up in Oklahoma driving on the dirt roads, but still couldn't do it legally till we were 15. But the point is with the tattoos that you said it's life altering. I mean, you get this tattoo, yeah, you can probably cover it up or get rid of it. It can be costly, painful. But if there's consensus over that, right and left, then why not, as you pointed out, the permanently altering of one's body, literally mutilating it in some cases, taking off healthy body parts? I mean, this tells me that this is a political issue, and that's what's driving it. It has nothing to do with the care and concern of children.
I think you're spot on, and the legislature wanted to show that we were committed to children's mental health, and we did so with appropriating the money, but that money also came with certain expectations, and one of those is that they would immediately cease these practices. The University of Oklahoma provides tremendous medical care in Oklahoma, but we just find this unacceptable and not part of a medical regimen that we approve.
Well, let me tell you, Senator, it's refreshing to see this coming from the upper ranks of leadership. I was in the state legislature, but the leadership does not always take a strong, firm stand on conservative issues. You've got a great governor. He was with us a couple of weeks ago in Atlanta. Appreciate you joining us today and your leadership on this, speaking to the concerns and needs of parents to protect their children from making decisions and actions that could, well, it will alter, but it could ruin the rest of their lives. Senator Treat, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I enjoyed visiting.